If you've ever looked at a word like committee and thought, why is it spelled that way? Morphology probably has the answer. And once you understand it, English spelling starts to make a whole lot more sense. If you're new here, my name is Anna Geiger. I'm the author of Reach All Readers, host of the Reach All Readers podcast, and creator of the Reach All Readers Plus membership. And I help K to third grade educators bridge the gap between reading research and daily instruction. In this video, I want to introduce you to the concept of morphology, what it is, why it matters for your students, and the key concepts you need to understand to start teaching it. So, what is morphology? Morphology is the study of the internal structure of words, and it matters for reading instruction because it's one of the things that drives English spelling. Many people assume that English spelling is just about sounds, that the way a word is spelled reflects how it sounds, and that's partly true, but spelling is also affected by morphology, etymology, and spelling patterns. So let's tackle the morphology angle. Take the word bugs. The B-U-G part is purely phonetic. The sounds match up exactly to the letters. B is spelled with B, A is spelled with U, and G is spelled with G. But that final sound Z is spelled with an S. Is it because bugs is weird or crazy? No, of course not. It's simply that the suffix S is pronounced Z in that word. Morphology overrides phonology here. Same thing with the ED suffix. Think about the words landed, jumped, and loved. All three end in ED, but that ending is pronounced three different ways: id, t, and d. We keep the spelling consistent because the morphology, the meaning part, that ED means past tense, stays consistent. Or think about the word really. Say it out loud. Really. Of course, we only hear one ul, but we spell it with two L's. Why is that? Well, it's because it's the base, R-E-A-L, plus the suffix L-Y. We keep both parts intact because the meaning matters more than the sound. Morphology trumps phonology. And then there's the word committee, which trips up a lot of spellers. But when you break it apart, it makes complete sense. You have the prefix com, the base mit, and the suffix ee. We keep the spelling of that prefix com. We take the base mit, we double that final consonant because we have a consonant, vowel, consonant, morpheme, and then we're adding a vowel suffix to it. So a vowel suffix begins with a vowel, and so ee obviously begins with a vowel. So all of that explains why committee is spelled with two M's and two T's, as well as the two E's. The spelling isn't random or odd, it's logical once you understand the structure, the morphology of the word. Do you have any words that always trip you up, that even as an adult you have to write multiple times to make sure it looks right? For me, that word is occasion. I'm always struggling to remember, is it two C's? Is it two S's? Is it both two C's and two S's? But when I look at the structure of the word, it makes a lot of sense. It begins with the assimilated prefix OC, continues with the base CASE, and concludes with the suffix ION. We drop the E on the base so that we can add that vowel suffix ION, and everything suddenly makes sense. Let's talk now about what morphemes are. One way to define morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of a word. Technically, a morpheme doesn't always carry meaning. Connecting vowels come to mind, but in general, I think this is a good definition to follow. There are two main categories of morphemes, bases and affixes. So a base is the part of the word that carries the meaning. Of course, every word has a base. Many bases are free, as in they can be words all on their own, and some are bound, as in they must be combined with an affix, one or more affixes, to make a complete word. So for example, if we think of the base CIRC as in circle or circular, we have a bound base there. But an example of a free base would be PLAY or HELP. When we think about our affixes, we have prefixes which come before the base, and then our suffixes which come after the base. A suffix can be inflectional or derivational. Inflectional suffixes are the ones we tend to teach first, so S, ES, ED, ING, ER, EST. Derivational suffixes will change the part of speech. So for example, if we take the noun beauty and we add the derivational suffix FUL, now beauty becomes beautiful, a noun becomes an adjective. If we take the verb depend and we add the derivational suffix able, we take the verb depend and change it to an adjective. Morphology helps with more than spelling. It also helps students understand the meanings of unfamiliar words. So take the word circumnavigate. If students know that CIRCUM has to do with around, like the circumference of a circle, and that NAVIG has to do with sailing, they might figure out that circumnavigate means to sail around the world. Or take the word subterranean. If students know that the prefix SUB has to do with under, like subway or submarine, and that TERR has to do with land, they may figure out that subterranean has to do with underground. Oftentimes, it's the understanding of morphology and the context working together that helps students make out the meanings of these unfamiliar words. It's also true that when students understand that spellings are often preserved across related words, spelling starts to feel like a system instead of a guessing game. So think about the word sign. Instead of teaching our students that it's a word with a crazy silent G, we can teach them it's connected to the word signal, signify, signature, and many other words with the base SIGN. So this is why morphology deserves a real place in your reading instruction. Not only does it help students with spelling, it helps them understand the structure of the English language and can help them figure out the meanings of unfamiliar words. If you want to go deeper on how to teach morphology in the classroom, you're invited to my Kickstart Your Morphology Instruction Challenge. We'll talk specifically about what morphology is, how to apply it even in the primary grades, and how to do more advanced morphology work with word sums and word matrices even in kindergarten. You can find the link to sign up below this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.